Welcome back to the s.nation.rise podcast. I'm your host, Griffin Aldrich. Alongside me, we have my two great co-hosts, David Caires and Daniel Miguel. And we are back with episode 101. Guys, I got to tell you, we got Daniel over there, some World Cup. How we feeling about that? Who do you guys got? Both of you guys. Like, who do you guys have winning the World Cup? I think that's what we got to start off with, right? Like, it's that time of year. We'll go with you first, David.
I mean, of course, I'm rooting for Team USA. That's no surprise there. I think that's expected, but I'm just happy with how this is kind of like bringing the world together in a weird way, where you see like the people from Scotland partying it up with the people in Massachusetts, the cops getting involved, playing soccer in the streets, the mayor, Michelle Wu of Boston, spending time with people from Haiti, supporting Team Haiti. You love to see all that. So I'm obviously rooting for Team USA because I'm born and raised here in the United States of America, but I'm very happy to see how much this is somewhat bringing the world together, because I think the world needed this. So I'm pleasantly surprised with how positive the World Cup has been received in the States here, and I love all the positive coverage.
It's awesome. What do you got, Daniel?
Yeah, I agree. Like, I feel like Boston has been the center of everything. I've seen Brazil fans. It was filled with Brazil fans before their first game a few days ago, and it was just like a lot of Brazil legends were there, and there's just people bringing or just the sport soccer bringing, or football bringing people together. And I agree with you, David. It's just amazing to see, in the midst of everything that's bad that's been happening in the world. We got a month or so of people from different countries just connecting and vibing together and enjoying the beautiful game. So yeah, I saw two different clips of the Scottish and Boston. One of them was soccer related, with them like chanting and stuff like that. And then I scroll, and the next clip I see is them at the Red Sox game. And I'm like, wait, what? Like that's amazing. I just think it's incredible to see the Scottish, who obviously aren't interested in soccer, but not really, because they're showing up in other sports and integrating with that Massachusetts experience. So I just think it's amazing that people from different countries are coming together. And since I would say I know more ball than soccer ball, I guess, than anyone on here, I do not have the USA winning. I do think they are a better team than they've been in years, judging by that first win. Was a really good win for them. I do think they're going to go pretty far this year, farther than they've been in a while. But I have Spain winning. I think statistically Spain or France are kind of the best teams right now. But I'm also a Messi fan, so I got to root for Argentina as well. So it's kind of like a mix of Spain and Argentina. But I honestly wouldn't be surprised if any team wins. This is one of those World Cups where you could just see a team win that hasn't won in a while. So it's just amazing to be watching the World Cup again.
That's awesome. I know when I threw this, I kicked the soccer ball up. I know Daniel was going to kick it into the goal because he's a big soccer fan. Or football.
Yeah, get it right, Griff.
I know. I guess I gotta mock David. I gotta go with USA. But I agree. Messi, Argentina. Is Cristiano Ronaldo still in it?
Yeah, Cristiano Ronaldo. He's at Portugal. Yeah.
All right. Quick question for you guys: Ronaldo or Messi? Let's just no even going in depth. Just say it straight up. What we got?
As someone who knows nothing about soccer, I'll just say Ronaldo.
All right. And I think I know Daniel's answer, because he didn't say Ronaldo. He said Argentina. So where are we going, Daniel?
I mean, I said I'm a Messi fan. That's why I had to root for Argentina. That's what I said. And I'm also wearing a Messi jersey right now. So yeah, my answer is pretty obvious. What about you, Griffin?
I got flamed the other day when I said Ronaldo. So
claimed by who?
some of my friends from work,
Oh,
because
got it.
they're Messi fans. There's he's playing in the U.S. and I said, yeah, you're right. I like speed though. I'm a big speed guy, so like I think that makes me fall to Ronaldo. But I think it's cool Messi playing, in the U.S. I don't know. I'll go Ronaldo, I guess. But let us know who you guys have down in the comments. Now we probably lost a lot of our viewers, but the real ones are still here. So you guys, let's go into our first topic, and this is going to be the most controversial one, and maybe we'll have some Knicks fans in here, but this is a hot topic, and shout out to Carl, he gave me this one. 24 Boston Celtics or 26 Knicks? What do you guys got? Because, and obviously we're all biased here, we're all Celtics fans, but I just see I feel like the Boston Celtics were just so dominant that year, like they were the first seed by far. You look at the Knicks, the Celtics were literally a higher seed than the Knicks this season, I think after trade deadline, the Knicks got a lot better, but what are your guys' thoughts, reactions, and let's hear the debate. I wish we had a Knicks fan in here. We'll have to do that soon.
So, to your last point, I do not wish we had a Knicks fan in here. The Knicks are the last thing I want to talk about, and I need a break.
I agree. I totally agree.
So I do not want a Knicks fan in here. Maybe come back and talk to me in October, and they can finally be tolerated. But right now, honestly, this segment is kind of making me throw up in my mouth because I've been trying to not think about the Knicks at all this last, 4 days since they won the championship. And just focus all my gears on how to make sure that the nightmare like this never happens again, with us just having to wait 6 weeks between our season ending and our arch nemesis winning the championship. Like I never want to go through this again. This has been like the worst offseason as a Celtics fan I've had in probably quite some time. But back to the original segment here, I think, bias included, the Celtics are the best championship team in the 2020s. And I think the Knicks are probably right behind us. And then I would put probably Oklahoma City third. So I'm going to go through the years quickly and give my reasoning. 2020 Lakers, I think they win with or without the bubble. That's somehow become a bit of a hot take, but they were a powerhouse before the NBA shut down that year. And, they pretty much dominated through the bubble. But they did have that last series against Miami go 6 games, whereas the Celtics had every single series go 4 or 5 games. 2021 Milwaukee, probably the weakest championship winner of this decade so far. I mean, they aren't in the finals at all if Kevin Durant's foot isn't on the line in that game 7, his shoe size is a little bit smaller. If Kyrie doesn't land on Giannis's ankle, like they were up 2-0 in that series. A lot went right. I mean, I give the Bucks a lot of credit. They came back from down 2-0 in the finals. They won 4 straight. And I mean, Giannis had a 50-piece to close out that series, which was crazy. But still, that was a very weak run for them. 2022 Warriors, they had a relatively easy path. And I do, again, it pains me to say this, I do give them credit for coming back against us 2-1. They were the underdogs. No one really picked them at the beginning of that playoff run to win the championship. Granted, they did luck out with not having to face Phoenix, and then they got an easy Dallas team in the conference finals. But, that's probably the weakest of all 4 of the Warriors dynasty championships. But, I mean, it's still a championship as it is. 2023 Nuggets, they really only had a tough battle against Phoenix in the second round of that year, and then they got to face the 8 seed in the NBA Finals. I mean, that's just a cupcake series, so I don't hold that much weight to it. The Celtics, I think, honestly, again, going back to the 2024 Celtics, again, bias, but one of the best net ratings of all time. It's going to be a while, I think, until we see a Celtics team that dominant again. I mean, literally just every single thing went right for us from start to finish that season. No series going longer than 5 games, a 10-game winning streak in the middle of the playoffs, closing it out at home. Yeah, I think that's the strongest championship run of this decade so far. Then the Thunder, right after us winning, was in 2025. They dominated more in the regular season than us in our championship winning season, but they had a rockier road in the playoffs, going to 7 games against the Nuggets, going to 7 games against the 5 seed Pacers. So that's why I knocked them down a few points. And then the Knicks. I mean, the Knicks, I did not have anywhere near winning the championship, especially after they went down 2-1 against Atlanta in the first round. And then they rattled off 13 straight wins. I do only put them behind the Celtics because, and this may be a reason that people put them ahead of the Celtics this decade, but they were behind. They found themselves in a big hole 5 times, whereas the Celtics, that whole championship run, really only had one big hole, and that was against that they came out of, which was in Game 3 against the Pacers in the conference finals. So that's why I'm putting the Celtics ahead of the the Knicks, because it was just such a clear ride from start to finish. But to have a long-winded answer here, Griffin, I'm putting the Celtics as the best team to win the championship this decade, the Knicks right behind us, and then the Thunder as the third team.
No, that's completely fair. Go ahead though, Daniel. What do you got?
Yeah, Celtics easily. I think we set so many 3-point records that season that it's hard to keep up. Who was it? We had Tatum. Okay, yeah, we don't need to run down the list, but I think the big 3 in terms of 3-pointers that season were Tatum, White, and Pritchard, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, that season was historic for us in so many levels. Not only us becoming the team with the most rings again, passing the Lakers, but again, so many historical individual and team records that I think the Knicks aren't even close. I don't think. And hot take, I don't even have the Knicks at second of this decade, David. I think if you look back to 2022 and how Curry was moving that season, nobody could stop him. I think for that singular reason, I have the Warriors in my top 3, just because, yeah, it was the weakest ring out of the 4, but it was 2022 Curry, Jordan Poole. Clay was kind of like dipping down, but again, you had Poole, who was basically the second Splash Brother at that point, and they were really just a tough team to beat, hence why they beat us. So yeah, I think I have them third, and then I have them second, I think, and then OKC third. I'm not sure about the rankings there yet, but yeah, definitely the 2024 Celtics over the Knicks. And anyone that says otherwise, or any Knicks fan that says otherwise, you're watching basketball on TikTok or something like that, because there's no way you look at that 2024 team and it's one of the most well-rounded teams of all time, not even of this decade. I personally think it's one of the best all-rounded teams of all time, and what completes that team is Porzingis. Yeah, I mean, after that ring, he kind of dipped down, and that's the reason why we traded him. But 2024 KP was something else, especially in the playoffs, and we had Pritchard off the bench. It was just a great team all around, and I'm glad we won a chip with that team. And I do think it's not only one of the best teams of this decade, it's one of the best teams of all time. And that's why I have the 2024 Celtics. In 4. 5. In 5. Let's go 5. In 5.
Yeah. No, you guys nailed it. I think the 2024 Celtics were a team that was just unmatched. You had Drew Holiday, who gave me nightmares on the Bucks. I was terrified of Drew Holiday, and then boom, you bring him to the Celtics. You have KP, who, all right, he battles with injuries, but when he's on the floor, he's a threat that's easily going to give you 20 at least a night, at least 20. You go through, and I did this on TikTok a couple years ago. You go even through the starting 5. What you had Holiday and Brunson at the 1. I would obviously go Brunson right there. Then you had at the 2, you had Derek White, and then who did you have? I think I forgot who I had up against him. I don't remember. But anyways, I think Celtics won even the starting 5. I think the Celtics had a bigger a more dominating starting five than the Knicks as well. The Celtics were just unmatched, and you could go through and be like, all right, Celtics, like there were a lot of injuries, you had Donovan Mitchell injured. Who else was injured on that playoff run? You could go through. There were
I think
players.
Halliburton or Siakam, one of the two. I think someone on that Pacers team was injured. I think it was Halliburton.
Halliburton was injured after he missed. He was there for the start of the series, but wasn't there for the end of the series.
But you could go through and be like, all right, there were injuries, da 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 da. But look, I mean, the thing about it too is, I think the Knicks lucked out. If you face OKC, I don't think the Knicks are beating OKC. I'm sorry to say. I really think if OKC beat the Spurs, Knicks aren't winning. So I think both sides lucked out. And go ahead, David.
Yeah, no, you're 100% right. You play the teams in front of you, but pretty much to win a championship in every sport, fans need to understand a lot of luck comes into play.
Oh, yeah.
You could also say, again, we're all biased here, but you could also say the Knicks benefited from not having to play us in the second round. Do I think that we win against the Knicks in the second round? I would rather not say because I don't want to give the Knicks any credit, but I'd like to say we are not getting swept at a minimum by the Knicks, and the Knicks were able to get rest. It's not often you play a 7 seed, and it's like the Nuggets. Like the Nuggets played a 7 seed in the conference finals, and they played an 8 seed in the finals. It's all you play the teams in front of you, but a lot of luck comes into play.
And I think a big thing is I think we've come to terms when there's injuries, you have to play around it. It's just how it was. Was I upset that Jason Tatum didn't play Game 7 against the 76ers? Yeah, but I'm like, we've played Tatum less all year, there's factors that you have to put into play, but at the same time, you can't blame injuries because if your team made it there, they need to be able to play without it. So you could put in injuries.
Also, I don't know why, but a lot of people make it seem like we're the ones that made the schedule in 2024. Like we're the ones that said, "Oh, okay, for the next round, I want to face the Pacers because they're injured." It doesn't work that way. Obviously, the players on their teams were injured, but we couldn't do anything about that. A lot of people act like we made the schedule that way, and we decided to play injured teams, and we wanted to play injured teams. That's not the way it works. We just play the teams, the cards we were dealt. We were dealt those teams because they went through to the next round, whether injured or not. It doesn't matter. And I don't like how people blame the Celtics for that 2024 run and how they say, "Oh, you guys shouldn't have won because you had an easy run." What else are we supposed to do? I personally just don't get that perspective on it. I think we won fair and square. We were healthy. Other teams weren't. We couldn't do anything about that.
I agree. Now, when it comes to all right, so I think we're all under the same umbrella right there. I think we all feel the same way. We're Celtics fans, of course we are, but this is my thing too. My little takeaway, fun takeaway. I do admit I think the Knicks had a better final shirt than us. I do agree, but I think our championship hat destroys any other championship hat ever in history. You have the Larry O'Brien trophies in the background. Geez, I would pull it up, but it's way over there. The Larry O'Brien trophies in the background, just a beautiful hat. I don't think anyone's ever topping that hat. So, you might got the shirt, but we got the hat. I'm gonna put it there. You guys agree with that? Got it. I don't know. I love the hat that we had. Anything else you guys have to say though before we move on to the next segment?
2027 is our year.
You said it. So all weekend I was at the Drive for Kids Celebrity Golf Tournament. So much fun. And this is a little plug. You gotta go check out the vlog we did at it. There's gonna be some exclusive videos that I'm not sharing here. All the videos are over here. These are just the celebrities I met. And I want to talk about it really quick. Drive for Kids, very, very special. It supports the Barbara Bush Children's Hospital and the Dempsey Center. Great event. So as you guys know, I work for the Portland Sea Dogs, and every year I participate in the Drive for Kids tournament, the Putt Putt for Kids. I'll put this on. So for the past 2 years, because I've been working for the Sea Dogs 2 years, and I did their Drive for Kids tournament. So basically, you have to raise a certain amount of money. You get to participate. Great time. And they gave you a wristband to go to this event. So I was like, I got to check it out. My boy Pritchard's going to be there as well. Everyone was so nice. Everyone that worked there, so cool. It was cool. Hunter, Cooper Flagg's brother, was actually working there too. Didn't get the chance to say what's up, but met a lot of great people. Talked to a lot of great people as well. If you guys are here from Drive for Kids, what's up? Welcome to the channel. Just overall a great experience and had a lot of fun with it. Everyone was so welcoming. This is my first ever golf event, so a lot of fun. And I'm into golf a little bit now. I'm not going to lie. I've been talking with some buddies from my internship about playing some golf this year, but I might have to now. Like, this was a lot of fun. Had such a blast. You know, it's a quiet and long game, but I think I would love it. So I got to get on the golf course. But a lot of fun overall. The celebrity is so nice. I'm not going to get into some of it, but for the most part, 99.99% of the celebrities, so nice. They come up to you. They're very kind and welcoming. And I learned about a lot of new celebrities that I didn't know too, and I became fans of these people now. So I got to show love to that as well. Half the people on this list that I took pictures with, I didn't know. But everyone's so welcoming. Like, they were fine with people getting pictures with them, signing autographs. Like, such great people and such great celebrities. So had a lot of fun with it. But I want to show you guys of the pictures, and there's a lot. There's 16 people that I met. I actually met Dempsey too, but I met him last year at the Drive for Kids, Putt Putt for Kids tournament, and I got a picture there. So didn't want to ask him for another one, but go check out, if you guys are a big Patrick Dempsey fan, go check out our vlog we did, because something cool. I'm not going to get into it, but you guys are not, I guess you're going to see my face a lot because these are pictures with me in it, but here we go. Let's go through it really quick. Dwight Freeney, who I found out is a football Hall of Famer. If I'm sleeping on this, I found out about him in this tournament. Geez, I'm sleeping under a rock, but such a nice guy. Tom Cairn. Love Tom Cairn. Been watching him for forever with the Red Sox. But I'm bringing my face back because I want to talk about this really quick. Super nice guy. Got a picture with me, and he was cracking up a joke with me. I forgot exactly what it was. I was like, he's like having a great day, and then he's like, except for me playing crappy golf or something like that. Great guy. And then I was walking up, and he loved the Tatum shirt. He's like, I love the Tatum shirt. Looks nice. So shout out to Tom Cairn. Such a great guy and a lot of fun. Jay Billis, who I'm guessing I found out now played basketball, but a well-known guy in the sports broadcasting industry as well. And then you got hockey player TJ Oshie right here. Such a nice guy as well. And then Clay Buchholz, who played for the Boston Red Sox. And then you have another Hall of Famer right here, Rondé Barber. I bet you got a lot of people probably know him. Let me know how many of these celebrities you guys know down in the comments below, by the way. And then you have Jaguars kicker Cam Little, who recorded the longest field goal, I think. I don't know. You guys are going to have to correct me on it. I think I learned that while I was there, but such a nice guy. Was talking to us the whole time. Great guy. Then you have Tuukka Rask, who, if you guys are Boston fans, you guys should know him. I didn't know him until now. And I learned that, geez, I need to get into some hockey because such a nice guy. Was the goalie for the Bruins, so it was so cool. And then I met Doug Flutie, who had the coolest car. He had a Batman car. And I have to say, I was driving back from work today after the event, but I also went to work as well. And I'm driving back and I see the Batmobile, and I'm like, this is so sick. This is so sick. And I guess he's a retired Bills player, but very known from Boston College. So great guy. Harrison Smith, who my brother got me hooked on recently. So got shout out Harrison Smith, such a good guy. Then we have Keith Fulke. Again, great Red Sox legend in 2004 through the final pitch in the World Series. Great guy, great guy. A lot of fun, such a nice guy. But then also, in addition to this, Ryan Claudy, a football player as well. I think he's a lineman, but again, such another great guy. All of these guys are great. Then we have Bob Sweeney, who was a Bruins player as well. A lot of fun getting that picture. It was pouring out at this point. And then we have Jerome Bettis, who again took a picture with me in the pouring rain, another Hall of Fame football player. A lot of Hall of Famers in here. Then we have Vince Carter, who I got this picture with today. Super cool. You guys know him. NBA Hall of Famer. I'm so happy I got this picture. And then next, the man, the myth, the legend, Peyton Pritchard. Such a nice guy. Even took the time out of his day to let me have an interview with him. You guys, if you want to check it out, go check out the Drive for Kids vlog that we did. Pritchard, such a nice guy, and got to give a huge shout out to him. So nice, and he had a whole mob following him. Everyone was here for Peyton Pritchard, but overall, great time at the event, great people, and I had so much fun, and I can't wait to do this again next year. So that's going to be fun. But on to the next segment. So, you guys, I'm not going to lie. We literally had a full segment about talking, can the Celtics land Giannis and Trey Murphy? But as we know, when we're uploading this, Giannis was traded to the Miami Heat. But the question still looms, Daniel, about Jaylen Brown potentially being traded. And I don't know about you, but I'm so tired of hearing these rumors, because if you're not getting Giannis, like Giannis is, listen, it would have sucked to get rid of Jaylen Brown, but when you add Giannis, that's a top 5 player in the NBA. You know, there's no other way to say it. You know, it would have sucked at first, but that's Giannis we're talking about at the same time. But now it's like, why is this question still being out there? Like, you would think now that Giannis is off, like, why are we trying to trade Brown? Because my only concern is this is a guy where Brad's like, we need more dunks, we need more driving. Jaylen Brown is that. But what are your thoughts? Do you think the Celtics should trade Jaylen Brown? And do you have any trade packages that you've liked seeing? If so, or do you think like we need to stop all the JB rumors?
So this is where I stand. I obviously, as a Celtics fan, I'm a JB guy, and obviously my answer is going to be no to the question: should the Celtics trade JB? That answer is always going to be no, because I think what we've found in JB and Jason Tatum as well, both of them as a duo, is something that no other team has been able to do in a really long time. One of the best duos in the league right now, and honestly, one of the best probably top 10 or top 15, I guess, duo of all time. Seeing what they accomplished together. And yeah, the answer is going to be no on should we trade JB. But to the question, will it happen? I think I'm leaning more to yes right now, just because, you know, a lot of people think these rumors don't do anything, but they damage the relationship between Jaylen Brown and the Celtics. They damage JB's image, they damage the Celtics' image, and it's just putting a whole lot more doubt, not only in the Celtics, but also in Jaylen Brown as a player and his abilities and what he offers to the Celtics. I'm pretty sure Jaylen Brown right now feels undervalued by the Celtics right now, based on these rumors and based on what we've been saying about him and what some Celtics fans have been saying about him and how they want him gone and stuff like that. And yeah, a lot of people think this doesn't have an effect, but it does. It does have an effect on especially Jaylen Brown. And everything he's done so far, especially in this last season. So yeah, he's definitely not going to be happy after seeing all these rumors. Even after, like you said, Griffin, the Giannis thing already happened, and JB being on the move, as it says down the title, is still a main topic. It's still a talking point. I don't know why, but I think the only package I don't necessarily have a package in mind, but the Cavs can keep Evan Mobley. I'll tell you that. We do not want Evan Mobley for Jaylen Brown. That's one of those rumors I'm like, all right, shut it off. Like, come on, that's not happening. If it does happen, I'd be very pissed at Brad Stevens for that because they just don't match. I don't think Jaylen Brown and Evan Mobley, they're on different levels.
I think the only thing you get from that is younger, and you get a big, but it's like,
yeah, but
is Evan Mobley better than Jaylen Brown? I don't think so.
Still, and you're losing a whole lot more points per games, and a whole lot more that goes into that. I think JB has so much more to offer than Mobley, other than Mobley being younger, I guess, and being a big. I don't think it's enough to make that trade happen. I actually just saw this today. I don't necessarily know how the contracts would work. I'm going to guess not well, because Braun right now is getting paid a lot, supposed to get paid a lot by the Nuggets. But I just saw something that said Christian Braun. I think it said Christian Braun and Jokic, which was...
That's no way that would happen,
There's no way that happens. For JV, that's not happening. But what do you think about Christian Braun? Just Christian Braun? No? Okay, yeah, I agree.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, I agree.
If we're talking Jamal Murray and Christian Braun, I'm thinking about that a little bit more. I think Christian Braun, I think he is so overrated. I hate to say it, but he's not. His upside is not Jaylen Brown.
Yeah, I agree. I was going to say the only trade that I'm willing to listen to maybe is Jamal Murray. I think right now we need a player like him on the team, and I think that's the only player right now in the whole league. In terms of reasonable trades, I think Jamal Murray is one of the only ones out there that I'm like, okay, I could actually listen to this, and if we could go deeper down into the specifics of what this trade could include. But I think Jamal Murray right now is one of the only names I'm listening to. He's being listed a lot to the Rockets or the Raptors, and I don't think either of those would work. I don't think there's anyone on either of those teams that I would want. You know, a year ago or so, there was that KD thing not happening at all. I don't want to see KD in Boston.
You know, Daniel, this is the thing, though. When you traded KG and Paul Pierce, it was like well after their prime. You know, like you traded them to Brooklyn. Jaylen Brown is still young and in the mix of his prime. You trade Jaylen Brown, I hate to say this, but I think the Celtics, whatever team he gets traded to, he's beating the Celtics in a series, and he's winning a championship with whatever team he goes to. I hate to say that, but I think it's the truth. I don't think you trade Jaylen Brown right now. And I love your understanding, and I agree with you, and it sucks. I think he is pissed. And I think he's like, this is the prime thing that I think he's pissed about, is he just had the best season of his career, and you think that would stop all the hate and the doubters. No, the doubters and hate multiplied ever since Giannis has been in the question. Boom. It's been nuts. But he has not requested a trade, and I think that's very valuable and important. But it just feels like we're running down a rabbit hole. It feels like it's the same Anthony Simons stuff that we've been hearing. When you acquired Anthony Simons, you heard the rumors, all right, he's going to get traded. And then come trade deadline, he was traded. I think we're running down the same path with Jaylen Brown, and I hate to say it because I want Jaylen Brown on this team, and I don't see any of these trade packages do not make sense to me. Like that Jokic and Christian Braun one, I'm all for that. Like you bring in Jokic, it's like, all right, that's the top two player in the league. But that's not happening. They're not
Yeah.
trading Jokic for Jaylen Brown. Other ones I see, you see to Portland, you see Jeremy Grant, you see Sharp and Scoot Henderson. It's like, all right, that's a lot of players, a lot of good players, but Jaylen Brown is more valuable in my eyes. You keep going down the list. You see the Hawks, Dyson Daniels. I'm just not willing to do that. Same with Evan Mobley. I get great player, but that's no Giannis. That's no Giannis. And then you look even further down the list. Again, one more team down the list I've seen. Jalen Duren. Great young player. Superstar potential at the center. Is he a good player? Yes. But am I willing to trade Jaylen Brown? No. That's like, I get it. People want to be like, all right, that's the risk you have to take. I get that's the risk you have to take, but it's not worth your number two or I'm not even saying number two, and people are going to call me crazy. Your number one superstar on the team right now. Jason Tatum did not play last season. And you have to say, and a lot of people are going to say, well, he was injured. Yes, but Jaylen Brown, as of right now, is your number one superstar. From the stats last year, and I get it. If Jason Tatum played all last year, we could be talking about something else. Like, I'm so fine with that. I am Jason Tatum's biggest fan, one of them. If I met Jason Tatum, I'd have him tattoo his signature on my leg. Like, I am such a big Jason Tatum fan. But what Jaylen Brown did last year, as of right now, he's your number one option. And it's like, you're all these trades, I just can't. What are your thoughts, though? I just don't think anything is of value to me like that. Like, I go down the list of superstars. Like, I just don't see these packages. These packages, they're young players, but these packages make me think, all right, if you do that, then you're going to have to rebuild. Like, that's what these packages are showing me. Like, if you want to trade for 4 first-round picks for Jaylen Brown, that means you're rebuilding. And it's like, we have Jason Tatum in his prime coming off. If you signal rebuild, Jason Tatum might as well be traded too. Like, because why? Jason Tatum is a winner. And I feel like if you are like, all right, we're going to rebuild, Jason Tatum might want out of Boston. That's just how it is. I just have to say. But what are your thoughts? I was going on a little tangent. It's just, it gets my blood boiling because it's like, this guy loves the city and embraces the city. I'm sure if he wasn't mixed in trade rumors again, you would see him out in the streets of Boston again like he was last year. But you guys hate him. You guys hate him and want him gone so bad. You guys, when Giannis was on the table, you guys were like, get Jaylen Brown out of here. Now it's like, all right, like the switch up is so crazy too, Daniel, because there's people that are like, please, JB, don't go. Like, I don't want you to leave now. And it's like, all right, but 2 weeks ago you were saying bye, Jaylen Brown. It's like, pick one. Either be on his side or don't. Like, don't go back and forth like F Jaylen Brown. And then you're like, oh, Jaylen Brown, don't go. Like, I loved you since day one. And there's people out there that have done that. And I'm not going to say any names, but I've heard it so many times. And it's got to stop.
Yeah, there are, to quote the Memphis Grizzlies like 3 years ago during that famous Grizzlies time with all those players, if you're one of those haters that Griffin is talking about, one of those like people that switched up, stay on that side. Come on, don't stay on that side. Don't do that. Like, why do you want Giannis? And then when that doesn't happen, now you're all for JB and keeping him and all that. It doesn't work both ways. You can't have your cake and eat it too. If you want JB gone, stick with that. If you're going to stay, then stick with that. Yeah, then don't, then don't dick ride Giannis when he's rumored to come to Boston, and then when it doesn't happen, you're switching up, and now now you're back on JB, and it's like, yeah, that specifically makes no sense.
It's just like this though too. It's like, all right, if you were like, all right, if it happens, if you weren't disrespectful about it and you're like, all right, it's Giannis, like, I wouldn't mind that trade. There's no problem with that. But it's the people that are like, F Jaylen Brown, get him out of here. It's like the people that are like, see ya, and we're upset when Jaylen Brown wasn't traded for Giannis. Like, I get it. I was all right, I'm a little bummed because it's like, if you were this close and then Shams is out there saying Jaylen Brown was offered, it's like, all right, like, now it's like, all right, maybe this trade should have happened because now it made a toxic environment. But I'm like, all right, Jaylen Brown, welcome back. Like, I'm happy. But it's not like the people are out there being like, oh, F Jaylen Brown, like, we want Giannis, like, who is Jaylen Brown? Like, he didn't carry our team. The reason why we lost is because of him. Like, no, it's and then they're like, JB, don't get traded. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing?
Yeah, I know. I agree with you on that, Griffin, where this has been rumored for the past year or so. We've been talking about Giannis for a while, even before the season started. There's been talks because Giannis has been, on and off, foot in, foot out with the Bucks for a while now. So he's always been rumored with the Celtics. And so, yeah, a part of me was like, okay, yeah, this trade should happen. And when it didn't, I was like, okay, you've been making this noise all this time. Shams has been making noise. Giannis has been making noise. The Celtics have been making noise about getting Giannis, and then it doesn't happen. I agree with you there, where it's kind of like I kind of wish it happened now, because you just started all these problems between the Celtics and JB just for nothing to happen, and now not only do we not get Giannis, the problems are still there, and they're even worse now between the Celtics and JB, and it was just not worth it because now we've made matters even worse, and I agree with you where.
But sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, Daniel. It's just the narrative. It's Shams going on there saying the Celtics are still interested, and then you have people making these mock trades and saying they're interested for XYZ. It's like nothing's helping. It's like, all right, if after that went down, it's like, all right, that sucks. Like, and Jaylen Brown's gonna be upset about that, of course, because like he arguably thinks he's better than Giannis, as he should. Like, that's how competitive players think, But then it's the fact that the rumors keep coming, and I think the rumors are at a high. I think they're higher right now than they were with Giannis. And I'm not even being exaggerated about that. Every day I see a new player up for grabs for Jaylen Brown. Like,
also, here's another thing. Here's another reason why I don't think Jaylen Brown should be traded. And it's something you mentioned earlier. When you talk about getting Giannis, obviously as a Celtics fan, as much as we love JB, obviously thinking about someone like Giannis is like, okay, it's kind of a fair trade. Some might think Giannis is better, some might think JB is better. I don't care. But for the team, for the team's success and the progression of the team, it seems like a fair trade trading JB and Giannis. And we've said this multiple times. But after that doesn't happen, it kind of seems like a mockery to now be, no pun intended, making all these mock trades of players who are on 100 tiers below Giannis. I feel like if since Giannis didn't happen, the trade shouldn't happen.
Exactly.
But I don't understand why we're now making other trades for these guys that are so much less than Giannis, so much like that are worth so much less, and not only worth more or less than Giannis, worth less than JB himself. Like, it makes no sense. A Giannis trade made no sense at first, but even as a Celtics fan, after a while, I was like, okay, hold on. Giannis for JB does not seem as bad as people are making it seem. It would suck to lose JB, but I'm okay with getting Giannis. I'm not okay with getting any of these other people that are being put up in these trades. I mean, I talked about Jamal Murray, but even then, he's less of a player than Giannis is. And Giannis was the only player that I was willing to mildly accept being traded to the Celtics. But now it's like, as a fan, I'm not accepting any other trade. I think JB should just stay now because the Giannis thing is over. Why should we still trade Jaylen Brown? For not only why should we still trade him, but why should we trade him for players that are less than JB and less than Giannis? That to me makes zero sense.
I agree. But, you're always going to hear the people. But You know, I have to say it sucks. It really does. But now we just need to. I'm boycotting the Jaylen Brown trade rumors. I'm boycotting them. I'm not gonna put anything up. Should we trade Jaylen Brown for this, that? No. If something legitimately gets steam and stuff,
There are some Celtics accounts that are still doing that, and I'm pissed.
I
Like
know.
there are some Celtic accounts that are still posting these trades and saying, "Should we do this? Should we do it?" Like, shut up.
Like,
Giannis
I
didn't
get it.
have to.
Have fun with it. But you're upsetting Jaylen Brown, dude. Jaylen Brown sees these. Like, he's active on social media. He's a
Yeah, very
streamer.
active.
Like, he obviously sees these. Like, you're putting hashtag Jaylen Brown. Like, it's gonna pop up on his feed, I'm sure. But but again, we recorded this podcast a while before this, so the next segment is gonna be about Jaylen Brown potential contract extension if he stays through the summer. But again, we did this pre Giannis trade, so some of our takes might be a little off, but hope you guys enjoyed that. Still talking about JB a little bit. David, you want to take over this segment? Now, this is if, again, people are going to come at us, but Jaylen Brown is still on our team, and this is all that goes on. And Jaylen Brown has not been traded. And there's a good chance. I think it's higher chances that he isn't traded this offseason than he is. So this is a big topic. And what do you got for us, David?
So at the end of July of this summer, Jaylen Brown is eligible to sign another contract extension, this time being a maximum 2-year, $142 million contract extension that would run through the year 2030, I believe, or 2031. And Jaylen Brown will be making $71 million a year up until he's about age 33 or 34. Now, the Celtics are able to offer this to him this summer. There's no rumors yet. We're about 6 weeks away from that. There's no rumors yet on if the Celtics are planning on offering this. There's no rumors at all on if Jaylen Brown, if offered, would accept this. But it's just something interesting to think about. And I'm interested to see where you guys stand on this, because for me, it is a hefty price to pay for a guy approaching his mid-30s. But with the way the salary cap is going to keep increasing every year, 7 to 10%, this may end up being a bargain if we're able to get Jaylen Brown to sign this comparative to what other superstars are going to be going for with their contracts relative. So if this contract's on the table and Brad Stevens offers it and Jaylen Brown signs it, I honestly would be totally okay with it, just given the direction that the money is going in the NBA. Like, I don't think this will be as cap crippling as people think. So that's my opinion, but what do you guys think?
If you don't mind, Daniel, if I go first with this, I think I love this because, again, once you get past all the Brown trade rumors and everything, I saw something, I forgot who said it, but they said they believe that Jaylen Brown will be a Celtic for the rest of his career, at least till like the Paul Pierce days where, they're at the end of their career and can you get someone for them late in their career? But I think Brad did a good job. We didn't keep Holiday, but he signed him. He made sure he got all of our guys on contract extensions. I think you do it this offseason. And I do say this. I think if you get past all these trade rumors, because, again, this is the year where he's most valued. If you don't trade him this offseason, I do agree. I think he's a Celtic for the rest of his life. And I believe his name, his jersey number will be up in the rafters one day. That's where I'm going.
Just really quickly for clarification, this 2-year contract extension would make Jaylen Brown a Celtic through 2031. He'd be making $71 million a year on average for his age 33 and 34 seasons.
Hey, and he said he might retire around then, so I don't know if he will, but who knows? But I think yes, you do this 1,000%. What do you got though, Daniel?
Okay, there we go. David, I know you're a big contract guy. Can I get a comparison of his contract now compared to this new extension? I just want like the numbers wise and like the years and stuff like that. I just want
Yep. So he just made 53 million this most recent season, the one that just wrapped up. He's making 57 this upcoming season. And then his contract, the final 2 years of this current extension he's on, it's 61 million, then the final year 64 million.
So not much of an I just feel like we could get at some point with JB where it's like we kind of look at that deal as being overpriced. Like 3-4 years down the line, when it is like when like you said it, David, like or I think it was Griffin, like the last years of his contract, get into that Paul Pierce stage, and we're still paying him 70. I don't know how I feel about that, especially because David, you mentioned earlier he's already getting to 30. So, I mean, he is a good player, but he's a really good player, actually. Let me start off with that. But I don't know. I'm kind of like 50-50 about it.
I think you got to do it, though. What do you got, though, David?
I think it's a no-brainer. Even if it ends up, I understand both sides of it, because even if it ends up like we're paying, holy crap, we're paying like a Jaylen Brown is mid-30s, 70 million. Like, yeah, on paper, that sounds crazy. But just with the new media deal coming into play for the NBA, all this new money being pumped into the NBA, like the cap's going to be increasing 7 to 10% every year for like the next 5, 6, 7 years. So I honestly think even if he doesn't live up to making 71 million and being a 71 million player on average at age 33 and 34, I think you still give him the deal, because it's not going to be as cap crippling again as people think, with how much money the cap is going to keep increasing.
Yeah, you're right. I'll take it. It is a no-brainer now that I think about it. Yeah, that's a yes for me.
So I think we got to do it, though. I think that's a big thing. And I agree, David. Not a lot of people are talking about this. So, after all the Giannis saga and stuff, if I'm not going to say if, I'm going to say when Brown is on your team, because I really think Giannis is going to Miami. I think JB gets his contract extension, the real JB, not Jalen Brunson, Jaylen Brown. Do you have anything else that you want to add on to it?
So it is interesting. I do wonder if he's going to be willing. I think if he waits another year, he can make more money. And I don't even know if Brad Stevens wants to offer. So this is interesting. Like you said, Griffin, like this is not being talked about enough, but there's two things at play. Are the Celtics and Brad Stevens even going to offer this to him? Yes or no? Is Jaylen Brown going to accept this if it's on the table? Yes or no? So that's something I'm looking forward to as well. And we'll get an answer on that. I believe July 26th is when the Celtics can officially offer this contract to him.
Interesting. So that'll be like well after all the Giannis stuff, hopefully, because they're saying that this is supposed to go down soon. So hopefully we'll be past that and we can talk about this. But
I have a random question, sorry, before we move on. Again, I don't know much about contracts. How long do we have Brad Stevens for? Is he also on a contract, or is like one of those where like he's gonna be here until he just has to leave? Where are we with Brad?
Yeah, that's a good question. I'm pretty sure the Celtics don't normally publicize his contract information, but let me just look it up right. Oh, it says he signed with the Celtics for the 2030 through 2030.
So that's right around. Yeah.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say right around the end of JB's contract.
And that coincidentally correlates with when potentially the Celtics could be starting a rebuild, because we talked about this last time where 2030 is the second of 2 years where we can now go into the second apron again. And by 2030, Brown's going to be 34. Tatum's going to be 32. I don't want to scare anyone, but we talked about this last time.
Damn it. Just let them watch episode 100. Let them watch episode 100. I don't want to get frightened again.
So we'll see. It would not surprise me if that was intentional, where Brad, that's the last chance to win a title with the Jays. And then no matter what happens in 2030, Brad also wants to try something new. Because by that point, Brad will have been with the Celtics organization for almost 20 years. So 2030 could be the start of a new era in all different types of ways for the Celtics. That's got me thinking now. Thank you for bringing that up, Daniel. I'm glad we were able to look into that.
Yeah, and also who knows? At 2030, you could see Amari being a top 10 center in the league, going up against Wemby and winning. I don't know. You could see, Ron Harper Jr. and Ugo being huge guys on the team. Who knows? But it would be exciting to see like the
Cooper
team 5
Flag
years
on
from
the
now.
Celtics.
Cooper Flag's on the Celtics. Yeah. Who said that?
Who said that? Wasn't me.
Honestly, it'd be kind of fun to see like the team 5 years from now.
He's gonna be fun. Hey, he will be a free agent someday. I'm gonna leave that.
It would be sad because obviously it would mean possibly the end of Tatum, the Jays in Boston, and maybe Brad Stevens as well. But it'd just be fun to see like where the team's at, and what could be accomplished with that team 5 years from now. But yeah, moving on.
No, you guys nailed it. But our last segment, big man, this or that. And I told the boys before, this is a perfect time for me to put Celtics Shaq in here, even though we're not even talking about Shaq. We're talking about current big man that you would rather have on the Celtics. Again, we're doing fun things all throughout the summer. This is just hypothetical, and maybe we can narrow down a center that we want the Celtics to go after this offseason. So how about the winner of this is the Celtics' new center this offseason that they need to go after? But I'm gonna lay them down for you, and you guys don't even give an explanation. Just go say what one you would rather. And we'll start off. Go ahead. All right, so we got first Robert Williams or Mitchell Robinson. Tough one. For me, want me to go first?
Please.
I'm going Mitchell Robinson. It's something new.
Yeah, it's close. I'm going Mitchell as well.
All right. Who you got, Daniel?
Time Lord.
All right, but Mitchell Robinson won that round. 2 out of 3 voted for him. So we'll go Robinson. All right, next one. This one's an easy one. Maybe I made it easy on purpose. Who knows? We got Nick Claxton or Yves Missy. Nick Claxton. Come on now.
I'm going Claxton.
I'm going Missy just because of the potential. I think the ceiling's there because he's a young guy, younger than Claxton. I just think he can be developed into a really big center, in my opinion.
Wow. All right. Wow. Daniel's picked the other one each time.
Yeah.
All right. But we got Claxton on that one. Sabonis or Daniel Gafford? Ooh, this is a tough one for me. You guys can answer it first. We'll shake it up. Should we go Daniel first? Let's go Daniel first.
I can go first. I'm going Sabonis. He has been a little injury prone recently, but I think he's proved to be a top center at his best. Gafford has been good. He's been linked to the Celtics for the past 3 years now or something like that. But I'd love to have him on the Celtics, but I do think Sabonis is better.
David, who you got?
I'm gonna go Sabonis as well.
I'm gonna go Sabonis as well. Clean sweep right there. Then we got Day'Ron Sharpe or Wendell Carter Jr. We'll go same order that we just went.
Oh, got it.
Do you need me to go?
I'm going Wendell Carter Jr.
Okay. David?
He averaged 6.7 rebounds per game last season. I'm going Day'Ron Sharpe.
Ooh, I'm going Wendell Carter Jr. on that one. I'm not going to lie. All right. So we have the 2 finalists. We'll start off with the first round. I'll just say the rounds really quick. We have Mitchell Robinson and Nick Claxton and Sabonis and Carter Jr. So first one, Mitchell Robinson or Nick Claxton? I'm going Nick Claxton. You got to go Nick Claxton. Come on, guys. Who we got? Who's going next? Don't let my boy down.
Yeah,
Don't let my boy down. Come on, give us Claxton. Bring him to the finals.
Hold on, let me just do one thing here. I just want to see one thing. Okay, Claxton.
All right, hey. All right, who we got, David?
Claxton.
All right, that's fair. All right, so Claxton is in the finals round. All right, Sabonis or Wendell Carter Jr.?
Sabonis.
All right, Sabonis or Nick Claxton? All right, let's go. Wait, does someone have Sabonis? Wait, both of you are gonna say yeah. Right.
Sabonis.
Oh no, I have Nick Claxton. So
we pulled the rug out from under you at the last second.
Oh no. Oh. So Sabonis is at least CNR's favorite. I think that's bullcrap. I think they go after Nick Claxton, but that's just me. It's just me.
If there is a 3-team trade,
Sabonis though, Griffin. So where's this? Stats wise, it's clearly Sabonis. So where's this Claxton love coming from?
Okay,
I wonder.
I know. I want Claxton. He's been my fan favorite forever. Bring him to Boston. That's all I gotta say. Bring him to Boston. Brad, do your work.
So Griffin, would you say that this is kind of biased because of that? Would you say it's a kind of a biased opinion?
No, because you guys voted for Claxton as well. You guys voted for Claxton in the end.
Yeah. Sure.
Plus, I think yes. I think there's two things. One, I think Claxton less injury prone for one. For two, I think on a team, I think he could benefit the Celtics. Sabonis, triple-double machine. I do like that when he is healthy. But I just think Claxton's healthy more often, and I'm just going Claxton. You guys have anything else, though, before we close out?
If there is a 3-team trade that could get the Celtics, Sabonis, and Zion this offseason, that'd be great.
Bro, no.
Falcons hit my line. Kings hit my line. Let's do it.
Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe and turn on post notifications to be notified every time we upload. David, no Zion to Boston. Thank you guys for watching. We will see you guys in the next one. Peace, you guys.
See you.